Hello traders and welcome to PL Capital's midweek review. Today is Wednesday, March 1st. Going to look at the dollar, euro, the pound, S&P, Nasdaq, oil, natural gas, and Bitcoin. So let's get going. 4-hour chart of the US dollar. So since my video over the weekend, they created a new top here, and now they're pulling back here and creating a correction. So I still see this as they're going to be creating a leading diagonal. So you got 1, 2, 3, 1. You came down here for 3 ways for 2, and so far this is just a leading diagonal coming up, and now you got this expanding flat that they created, and I would expect them to either this is the low is in now for the correction, and now they're going to go up, or it might come down one more time, but I expect them to start resuming back up and take out that high. So this is 1, this is 2, and then this will be, when they break that high, that'll be 3, go down for 4, and then go up for 5, and they should finally be taking out this 105.63 level. So more upside in the dollar. Key level to watch though is if they take out 103.76, then that invalidates my count, and then there's something else going on here. Still might be going up, but it's not a leading diagonal. Might turn into a running flat. So gotta watch that. Euro, yep. So they came and set a new high here Monday, and now they're in correction. So you got 3 waves down, and I would expect 3 waves up, and you got 3 waves so far. 1, 2, 3, but this was such a strong move, and you got no divergence, and so I would expect a little bit more correction and at least one more up. So you might have like a B, and then come up for a C. So a little bit more up, I think, in the euro, and then start heading back down. Pound, so they almost came yesterday and took out what I have labeled as a 4, and then it got rejected. So I think this is all going to be just part of the 5th wave here. So this is 1. So they didn't take out the low with the 3 on, when was that, Sunday night? No, Monday. They set a new low, almost took it out, then almost took out 4, and now they're starting to reject here. So I expect this to be just a 1, 2, 3 waves, break this low, and that'll set complete 5 waves. So you have a leading diagonal, and this could come lower, but just has to break the low of the 3, give you 5 waves, and then you get a correction and more down. So expecting a little bit more down in the pound. S&P, so more I look at this, S&P is looking like they're creating a really, really big leading diagonal here. So what I see, you got 1, big correction 2, and then all the way down here for 3. And then today we finally broke that low. So like I said over the weekend, I was expecting them that they would have one more down. But now that I look at this, I see 1, 2, 3, and then they came up here in 3 waves. That would be 2, and then they got this running flat, and they set that new low today. That'd be 3. So if it comes up here in 3 waves, I think they're going to come back down, break the low again, and that'll be 5 waves now, and it'll be a leading diagonal, which means you got a bigger correction, but then you're still coming back down again. So key level to watch is this. If they take out 40.24 on this as they're going up, if they take that out, then this structure is done. And this whole thing, and they still might be coming down, but what I think is a leading diagonal it'll be done. So that's a key number to watch. But just want to show you something real interesting. People who who say technical analysis doesn't work, I always, or technical analysis or wave analysis doesn't work. So they had this running flat here. So you had this 1, 2, and then they started to come down, almost took out that low, but they didn't. And then they went all the way back up. And the high of this candle right here, come on, is 403.50. And the invalidation point is if they would have broke that high, 403.75, then this wasn't going to be a running flat. So I saw this running flat, but then it started coming up really strong, and I was like, wow, this is getting confusing here. It's got to be a running flat. But sure enough, then it reversed hard off of there. So, definitely market makers are playing games, but if you can spot the patterns, you know what to be looking for, because this is a running flat. So you got your 1, 2, and then what they did is they created an ending diagonal here. So then you had, this was 3 waves for 1, 3 for 2, 3 down here for 3, came up here for 4, and then 3 for 5. So all in all, this is just a 1, 2, and a 3. So wave analysis, it works. You just got to know what you're looking for. So just wanted to show you that, that these market makers, I mean, literally one tick away from this being invalidated, and they're just trying to trap all the bulls, getting them excited, and then they reverse course and take them out. So always got to know what they're doing. All right, anyway, sorry. Nasdaq. So same thing, but it's a little different because they didn't break the low today. So they came all the way down to what is that, 24.75, and the low was at 11.923. So a point and 3/4. They almost took it out. So this one, it looks to me like this was all a leading diagonal, and now they're making a correction, but it almost looks to me like they need, well, they don't have to, but it almost looks like they need to come up one more time, because you have this strong move up, and then you had this correction down, almost took out the low, but didn't. So it almost looks like they need to come up one more time before they go down, so that you have like an A, B, C type of a correction before they head down. Now they could turn out to be, that they're going to make a running flat, which you can never predict. But so that if they come and break this low here, that they might spike it up one more time and then go back down. So be careful of that. So, but I don't see that this structure here is complete. So I think the Nasdaq actually has more down to come, or they should be breaking this low, 923. So that's what I'm looking for on the Nasdaq. Oil. Okay, so I was wondering if this leading diagonal was done, and now we got confirmation that it is. So we had a leading diagonal here, and now they're making a really big correction, and to me it looks like we've got another leading diagonal. So you had this 1, 2, 3, 4, and they broke this high today that they set yesterday, and I don't think that's odd. This last piece of the structure, I think they still need one more wave up to complete this fifth wave. So I'm expecting them. So they came up to 77.85. I think they'll come back up one more time, and that'll be a leading diagonal, which I think is going to be A. You get a correction, some kind of correction, and then resume back up for a C, and then resume down. So that's what I'm looking for. I think you got a leading diagonal, and now they're making a big correction here, and before they head back down. So that's what I'm looking for on oil. And natural gas. All right, so they finally broke that key level that I've had marked for a while. Now I do have to say, even though I want to be very bullish on natural gas, I am just not sure about this structure here, because it ended in three ways, and I don't like that. So 1, 2, and 3, and so that's why I was really expecting them to come up, for three ways, and then go back down for one more, so that you have like some type of ending diagonal structure. Because the way I see it, I mean, you got this big move down, and then you had three ways here, and then you had this 1, 2, 3 ways there, and it's like you just, unless I'm missing something, somehow this was all an ending diagonal, and this last three ways was the last of the ending diagonal. But it almost looks to me like they could be making an expanding flat. So I've always got to be cautious with natural gas. It's bitten me before. So I'm just wondering if this isn't going to be like, that's three ways for your A, this is three ways for the B, and now they're making this impulse. And what I see is, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here's 5, but then they made a correction, and then they broke that top again today. So we've got 4 ways, and now I think what they're going to do is extend this 5th wave. So here's 4, and then what they're going to do is, you've got 1, 2, then they're going to come up. I mean, that could be 3 right there. 2, 8, 3, 9. But I think they're going to come up for 3, give you a 4 and a 5, and that'll be your impulse. So I don't see this being complete, and I think it still has more up to go, but not much more. I mean, this is not the greatest place to be buying natural gas right now. I mean, after this big move, I'd wait, let this finish, because then at some point you're gonna get a big 3-wave, well, some type of correction. So, but the one thing I am watching for is the possibility that they're going to make an expanding flat here. So this will end up, who knows how high it'll go up there, because this could be, A came down for B, and then this is going to be C, and then they'll come back down one more time, and so you'll have your big, you have some kind of big diagonal down, and then A, B, C, and then one more down. And then at least that would make more sense to me, just from a structure point of view. But, so remains to be seen. But I mean, anyway, like natural gas, I think it has a little bit more to go, but it's either then going to give you a 3-wave correction, and probably be a deep correction. No, natural gas, I mean, they'll probably come all the way down to the very bottom and then resume if they're going to go, or it's total downside. So that's why I'd be very leery about buying natural gas right up here. I'd rather just wait for some type of correction here, or if you can, you might even be able to get it really, really low here. So I'm just a little leery on what this is, just because this ended on 3 waves. That's all. So that's what I see there. And Bitcoin. All right. So my last video, I said that I was seeing that this was going to be an expanding flat, and I thought that they had one more down, but this invalidates it. It's not going to be an expanding flat. So I think what this is they made just a contracting flat, which I really hate those things, right here in the middle. So you had just this 1, 2, 3, which means that ended this whole piece then was like a leading diagonal all the way up to there. And so what I think they're doing now is they're going to make a correction, because you got 3 waves down. Oops. You got 1, 2, 3, and now it looks like it's starting, like you got 1, 2, 3 there, and then you got 1, 2, 3 down to here, and then so far there's an impulse here. So you got 5 waves to right there. So it could be that was A, came down for B, and that's C, or this is part of like a leading diagonal. And that's 1, that was 2. I'm gonna get rid of all these lines. So it's possible that they're starting a leading diagonal, and this is 1. It came down in 3 waves for 2, and this is the first part. And then if they come up here and break this high again, then that'll be 3. Then they'll come down for 4. Then they'll go up for 5, give you a bigger correction, and then resume up. So that's a key number to watch. Is look at that, nice number, 23,999.99. So if they break that, so if they get to 24,000, then you definitely have a leading diagonal, because that's 1, that's 2, that'll be 3, then they'll give you a correction for 4, and then up for 5. So that's what you want to watch. See if they can break, if they could get to 24,000. If not, if they come down and they break below here, if they break below that, then this is probably, then this is all the correction, and you're coming back down to take out that low one more time. But I still think then that this is all going to be just correction and resuming up, and we're still think the target is up here to 28. But we gotta watch how this area develops. Okay, that's what I've got. Hope that helps. Thanks for comments and likes, and I will talk to you later. Bye.